On today's Five Star Flex, I'm here live with Phoenix Gaston, the mother of Juan Gaston, the four-star offensive tackle who decides between Georgia, Oregon, Tennessee, and South Carolina on August 2nd. She's going to talk about the official visits they took and Juan's Final Four and everything she likes about those schools here on the Five Star Flex. Phoenix Gaston. Fifi, what's going on?
What's going on, dude? What's up? What's up?
Not much, not much. So listen, man, what a process. Just talk
Whew.
to me about how, like, from the moment Warren got his first offer to now, how has that process been for you?
It has been a ride. Let me just say that it's been a journey, a fun one at that. Of course, being the mom, not being the dad, so I haven't gone through this process as an athlete, but it has definitely been an amazing ride, not only for Juan but for his siblings and as a family as a whole. For the most part, it's a joy being able to have his little twin brothers actually see and go through this process, so they have some aspirations to kind of go towards
Right.
as they come along. Because we're just going to the fourth grade, so we have some time to kind of get it right and try to vet the process so that as I'm going through it again, hopefully when they come up, it'll
Okay.
be easier. I want to be a veteran by then. I want people calling me and requesting me to be on their show all the time to say, how did you do it? But it's been very rewarding, and we're down to the final stretch. That's all I can say. It's been a long ride since ninth grade.
The final stretch
Yeah.
right now. What was Warren's final four schools that he's selecting from?
Our final four schools are South Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, and Oregon.
And if I'm not mistaken, you took official visits to those four.
We sure did. We did. We did. We started out in UGA at UGA, then went to South Carolina, then went to Tennessee, and finished it up in Oregon.
All right, so let's do this. Let's go reverse order. Talk to me
Okay.
about what you liked about each official visit. And let's start with Oregon.
Okay. Oregon, amazing facilities. And I know when you're a D1 highly recruited athlete, you see all the best stadiums, all the best facilities, but there was something really special in Oregon for sure. They're in the process of building, I don't know how many millions it costs, but a huge new indoor facility. But they have some cutting edge technology already in place that I hadn't seen at some of the other schools. My favorite thing, definitely love Coach Lanning.
Okay.
He's amazing. Uh, the realness with him and the fact that he definitely employs a lot of young people.
Mm.
Not that I'm an old head, but I'm a little seasoned. But the fact that the O line coach is under 30
Okay.
is amazing to me. He has lots of energy. I like a lot of the practices that they instill in their players. There's prayer before each team meeting, before each
Mm.
position meeting. I definitely like that. There's definitely a closeness that I can see amongst the O line players and amongst everybody. I will say Atlanta, the Southeast, is definitely in Eugene, Oregon.
Okay. Okay.
So it felt like a little bit of a home
Oh
there, from
wow.
the staff to even the locals of Eugene. It was very genuine. So definitely loved Eugene and loved
Okay.
Oregon.
Okay. Let's talk about
Tennis
Tennessee.
Tennessee was cool. I like Tennessee. We got to they did a little wine and dine. We went on a little riverboat, got to see the city a little bit, got to get the heart and feel of Knoxville, which was new because usually when you go on the tours, you're just seeing the campus. But we got to actually see the city life. So it was really, really nice. Love Coach Hype.
Okay.
He went one on one with Juan. We played a little basketball, so that was cool.
Okay.
You got it. Big boy likes to play basketball. That was his heart for a long time.
Hey,
I
who
kept
who
saying,
won?
Hype.
Hype
Coach Hype
won.
won. He won hands down. Whoop that butt. Whoop the tail. Whoop the tail. So that was definitely a fun experience. They've been great recruiting. For me, they have checked all the boxes across the board in terms of educating parents on like just certain processes and how things work. Even the onboarding process for the student athletes, it was just really hands down. They checked all the boxes.
Oh wow.
So some schools just need to take note.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they
Okay.
definitely educated the parents for the most part, especially if you're a first time parent like myself going through this process. And there's
Hmm.
some gray areas that you just don't know sometimes, but they left no question unanswered. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So that was pretty cool. Definitely a good time in Tennessee.
All right. Now let's go to South Carolina.
Now, South Carolina, I know Coach Beamer would be like, come on home. I like
Right.
they sent Juan a little video. He's like, Columbia's not as big as Atlanta, not as small as Orangeburg, where I'm from. It's a
Okay.
little college town. So South Carolina definitely has a family feel, and Juan would say the same thing. It feels like family. It always crossed my mind, where did South Carolina come from? But
Mm.
Coach Teasley, the O-line coach, has done a phenomenal job building that relationship with Juan. I think that's important, especially for any player. Make sure you're building that relationship with that player. Learn their personality. I know my big boy, he's an introvert. He's not a man of many words, but he was able to pull some of the best stuff out of him, came and saw him and built that relationship with him. So South Carolina definitely had that family feel. Awesome facilities. We've been there several times as well. So it was
Okay.
a good time in South Carolina.
All right. So, with you being from Orangeburg, are you kind of rooting for South Carolina a little bit?
And I'm non-biased. I'm across the board. I'm across
Okay.
the board. I'm wherever you want to go. I'm supportive. I'm that
Oh,
parent.
okay. Good.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
good to
that
know.
parent. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Last but not least, UGA.
UGA. Where is home? It's always like it feels like home. We've been going to Georgia for quite some time. I want to say they were his first offer. Don't quote me. You may want to take it off. I don't know. They always tell me we were his first offer. So I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Love Coach Searles, love his wife, know the
Okay.
daughters, like it's a family feel. And small world. I texted one of the coaches today from one of the twins highlights and was like, look at that big boy running the ball. And he was like, man, tell him in a couple of years he's gonna be playing for me. So that good
Nice.
feel, and you're looking for that genuine in each school that you're going to. Coach Smart definitely provides that genuine. It's always a very laid back conversation, like, man, what's up? What we gonna do? I'm gonna get you to talk, Juan. Because he knows that's his personality. Awesome facilities. I know there were some staff changes. So we started out with a certain set of coaches that were there, kind of recruit. Big ups to them. They went on with an upward. My guys at the O line coach for Georgia State, Coach Man Ray, and I love it. Love it for him. Love to see the upward mobility.
Okay.
And Coach Dale, who's now the head coach at Georgia State as well. So even through the changes, it's always been the same pace of that recruitment process, staying close, but not putting it on too hot and heavy, because that can sometimes be a turnoff, especially for some of these players as they're coming down the home stretch, trying to figure out where do I really want to go. But if you start too hot and heavy and that's not their personality, I've seen it to be a turnoff in
Oh
some
wow.
cases. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's good. Okay. So let's talk about this. What does Phoenix want for Juan in the school that he selects?
For me, I was a student athlete, not on this level, definitely not a D1.
Okay.
But I'm looking for that character building, that man building. Like, who's going to push him to become that young man I need him to be in the next chapter of his life? You can go away from home, whether you decide to go across the country and you go to Oregon, or you go right up the street and you go to Athens. I'm looking for I'm going to drop him off as 18-year-old Juan, and he's gonna come back and I'm gonna see him in 6 months or 3 months, and I'll be like, wow, you guys have really poured into him. So as a parent, and I think this is across the board for any parent, you're looking for that personal development on and off the field. Like, I know he's gonna put in the work. He has great work ethic. He's gonna get it out the mud and earn his spot. But for me, it's about making him a young man. It's that balance you need on the
Mhm.
field and off the field. So that's very key for me as a parent. That's what I was looking for.
So some people don't know that Juan's father, Juan Gaston Sr., was one of
Hmm.
the best high school football and basketball players in the history of Georgia. A dual sport guy. I feel like now, if he were to come out now, he probably would be like that hybrid football player that everybody's talking about. But he went the basketball route, played at Georgia Tech.
Did.
Um, so what has Senior been able to help Junior with during this process?
I think for him, kind of just guiding him, being able to see the genuineness in people. I think his
Mhm.
word during this whole process has been genuine. He wants to see the genuineness in everybody.
Mhm.
So that's really, really key, because you may form a bond with the player, with the coach, but the coaching staff is not guaranteed. The players are not guaranteed. So you have to figure out where you're going to go, where you're going to be developed. If your goal is to make it to be a professional athlete, what does that look like? Who do I need on my team at this level to help me get to that next level? So it's been very intricate in him, being with his dad, trying to figure out what feels right, what doesn't feel right, what to look for. And the hot topic is them girls. Cause I was like, I went into this like, when we on these official visits, what is really going to transpire? So being able to
Right.
pick his brain about what it looked like for him. So that
Oh
was a
wow.
fun conversation.
That's fun too. I mean,
Yeah.
we talk about coming of age, right? And
Yeah.
dad's already been through it, and mom is like, "Hey, what were you doing?" Right?
Yeah. 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 Got to have that real conversation.
Now there we go.
Yeah.
So I'm sure the twins got to tag along for these official visits, correct?
They did. And big sister.
Oh, okay. So what did
Yeah.
the siblings like the most?
Um, I think they feel like they're in high school already. I think they feel like they're like he's only like 2 years older. Like y'all have a
Right.
long stretch, but I think they like the feel of being a priority.
Right.
Being
Right.
able to be driven around and the coach, everybody's always checking on you. So as a parent, I definitely appreciated those 4 weekends of not having to cook, clean, see about children. So I think it was definitely an experience. And you want for your child to get the education at this level. They're going to fourth grade, but if they can hear about financial literacy, they hear about
Mhm.
academics, they hear about your work ethic and being in the weight room, nutrition, I think you start putting that in their minds now. You don't have to push it so hard, but at least it's a thought in their head. It's in their subconscious. Like we keep hearing the same thing over and over and over again. So I think that's definitely a great start. And for big sister, I'm trying to get her to look at the bigger picture. Like
Right.
this could be a family dynamic, so I need you to be listening, have your eyes and ears open. What did you see? What did you not like? What did you like? So it's just a learning opportunity all across the board for the family as a whole.
Okay. So we talked
Hmm.
about everything that you liked and everything that you love.
Yes.
What part of this recruiting process did you not like?
Um. Hmm. That's a tough one.
Mhm.
And I think there's nothing really to gauge it against because I've never done it to say, well, I guess if I have to do it again, building those relationships. So let's just say Juan, for instance, like Texas. And he was like, "Ma, I really like Texas, but I'm not feeling that vibe from the coach." It would be maybe me building that relationship with him and just saying, hey, like for instance, I had a coach reach out, Juan was the top one on the board for all of the coaches. That's amazing, but I got zero communication. So it's
Mhm.
like for me, communication is key. Communication is key, key, key. And you don't have to send a million flyers to the house. That's not communication. Communication is you sending a
Right.
text, you picking up that phone. We had another instance with another school, and he was like, "Oh, I would love to go, but I couldn't get the buy-in." And I was like, "I don't feel like you will be a priority for them. So let's just fall back and you focus on the other schools that you really built relationships with." And another thing, surprisingly enough, and this is gonna be more personal, he
Okay.
had one HBCU offer.
Oh wow.
And for me, that was huge because I went to HBCU. So it's like
Okay.
I think FAMU was the only HBCU that offered. And I'm like, come on, it's about relationship building. I was like, you
Right.
look at players like Travis Hunter who went to a Jackson State, but that's because you built that relationship. You built it. Sometimes it's not who can do whoop de whoop. It's about building a relationship with that family and that player and kind of
Right.
going from there and getting them to see the bigger picture. My thing now is to Juan, I understand that you want to play in the NFL, but if it's your trajectory of your life to play in the NFL, I don't care what school you're going to go to, you're still going to land where you're supposed to land.
Right.
Period. So that was the only disappointing thing during this whole process. I was like, we're gonna get all HBC, and it was like, yeah, no.
Just got that
So
one.
just got
Yeah.
that one, and then it
I
was,
mean, and coaches like they got this thing that they call practicing, where if they feel like they can't get a guy, or if a guy's outside of their level, or maybe too highly rated to come to that school, they say, well,
yeah,
I ain't gonna waste my time practicing. But like you
yeah.
said, like you just never know. And with you guys being such a relationship based family, you never know what could have happened. But now we're at the point. Now we'll never know, right?
Now we'll never know because what we say, nothing beats a failure than a try.
Man, what you talking about?
Hey, you got to
Hey
try
man,
it.
don't start church now. All right, so tell me a funny story about this whole recruitment that kind of cracked you up a little bit.
Funny story. We were at one school visiting. I believe it may have been a practice,
Okay.
and so coach comes up to me and tells me to tell another coach a message. So I get to the other school. I relay the message. And the response was, they must be nervous if they're sending messages. Hilarious. The funniest thing ever. And I was like, oh, okay, there's a little undermining thing you guys got going on. So that
Yeah,
was hilarious.
what's funny too is that I tell a lot of the athletes that I mentor, like in the area, I talk to plenty where we from. There's a lot of kids I talk to, and I
Hmm.
always tell them is like you can't, your bad habits can't escape you because all these coaches know each other.
They
Like,
do.
so why you think, oh, I'm gonna run over to this school because now he's gonna call that other school because these are golf buddies. So
Yep.
like, don't think that your bad habits that you can outrun your bad habits.
You
That,
cannot. You
no, you
cannot.
can't, man. I think it's important for recruits to know that.
Hmm.
Phoenix. So tell the school. Matter of fact, let me ask you this. So Phoenix, do you know where one is going already?
I have no clue. I was
Oh wow.
told one thing, but I feel like I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't. And everybody's asking me every day, where we going? Where we going?
Wow. So you don't know. When do you
I
think that this
have no.
so when do you think
I
that the decision is gonna be made?
um I'm giving him to the 31st.
Okay.
To the 31st. I was like, I gotta know something. Your mom's a little bad and bougie. I gotta come correct with the decorations. And I'm like, how we doing it? And how we gonna play it out? What's the skit? What's it gonna look like? So literally just secured the gym for him, 7 o'clock, August 2nd at Westlake High School. So we're piecing milling it together. We getting it together. But I don't think, because your child. He's not a man of many words. So I'm just like, I'm presenting all these ideas, but I was like, give him the eye. I need to know where we going. I got to know something. I got to get my mind right as a mama, because
Okay.
I think once he hones in on that decision, the bigger question now becomes: do you become a mid-year enrollee or do you wait till the summer? You know,
Right.
he loves playing basketball, and I love
Yeah.
love the basketball. I'm scared about injuries, but hey, knock on wood, we've been injury free this whole time. But just trying to hone in and get to the next step of this process and enjoy our senior season. That's what it's
Right.
like. And big appreciation to Coach Mitchell, our head coach, because he put the pressure down and was like, yeah, nah, it's no mid-season commitment. We're gonna do this before the season because we're gonna be
Right.
going to the state playoffs and the state championship. I said, I'm here for that.
Okay.
So
I like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
let's
Westlake
go.
loaded this year too.
We pretty loaded. We
Yeah,
we
yeah.
we, we
Yeah,
coming in hot and
Westlake
heavy.
loaded.
We coming in hot and heavy. I'm excited. I'm
Okay.
excited. I'm here for all of it.
Phoenix, are you on Instagram?
I am.
Where can everybody follow you?
You can follow me at Swan and the Boys Mom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, Phoenix, thank you so much for your time. And
No, I appreciate you.
after the commitment, let's talk about it again.
Yeah. Have me back on Club Fifi, not Club Shay Shay.
Club Fifi.
Club Fifi.